I bought a shitty mini lathe. Again, for the second time in my life. Will I regret it? Maybe. Who knows? I still haven't bought a mic. I like this one because you could go. So, this thing needs to be torn apart, cleaned, maybe do some like lapping, grinding, just to kind of like, just to get it better. It's very crunchy. The machining is rough. The casting is rougher. But it's got potential. It needs to be adjusted. It needs to be shimmed. But these little lathes can do really good work if you treat them properly and fix all the weird shit that they did at the factory. Which, of course, it's $466. You can't expect much. But it's a fun project, and I'm going to take you along for the ride. First things first, I gotta tear this bitch apart. I was gonna cut straight to a pile of parts, but I think this is funny. So this is a machine ground here. It's just right to a painted surface. That's not a very good ground. That's funny though. And here's the reason why I would really recommend you take these apart before using them. Look, there's paint on the surface it locates with this V. There's paint everywhere. I just took this off. That is not a good mating surface. Here's the opposite. I mean, it's just filthy, extremely rough. I don't blame them, but you still got to take it apart if you want an accurate machine with everything lined up. So I just got a little bit more to take apart, and then I'll be done. It's all taken apart, and I'm all goopy and gritty. There's way too much grit on this thing for a precision machine tool. So I'm glad I've taken it apart, but fuck. They included some of the foundry dirt, which is actually really nice of them because like I wanted some, now I have it. Like you could, oh, that sounds so good. Anyway, I got some reading to do. I have some cleaning to do. And the next time I see you, hopefully it'll be either back together or I'm gonna have a video of bedding in some of these surfaces, getting them cleaned up. I might do a super cut of that. I don't know. The birds are chirping. I'm really tired. I'm going to bed. Bye. I wasn't going to show any of the process of lapping in the guideways because it's very tedious. But I wanted to show you the gib from this cross slide here. I put Sharpie on there to show you what's being touched and what's not. With even pressure on this, on a surface plate, yeah, it's very bowed. So I need to do a lot of work to get this straight. And then I'm gonna put it all together, continue lapping it until hopefully I get at least 80% contact of all the surfaces. I know it's asking a lot, but it's worth it. Crunchy. Here's another reason to take apart your lathe before using it. Here's the half nut. This is the apron that rides along the carriage. The lead screw should go in here, but it wasn't engaging very well. If you slide this out, first off, you can see the contact for the dovetail. It has a huge burr, which obviously isn't gonna help. You can see it only contacts in like one little spot, two spots there, two little shiny spots on the dovetail. There goes my gib. And see those burrs on the very end of the threads? Look at this side. There's two chunks of cast iron smushed into the threads. Sorry, some woman was yelling at me. Okay, so I'm gonna deburr this, stick a bunch of grinding compound in there, try to get the goop out of the threads. And of course, this is actually activated by this cam type of mechanism. See these two slots here? This slides in here, so when you flip it sideways, it squishes them together. And when you flip it up, the pins force them apart. But those slots have huge burrs and they're already rusty. So I'm gonna get them all ground up and then I'll show you what it looks like. Alrighty, I got it kind of ground in. I just put some lapping compound in between all these dovetails here, flatten this gib on my surface plate, and I got these grub screws tightened up. There's a little wiggle, but it's actually quite tight for how easy it moves. And I think I'm done with this. I got it deburred, tentatively clean. I need to take it apart all the way, do a final cleaning, and then we're ready for assembly. I have everything I need to put it back together. Most importantly, I have gloves for protecting my skin. I have a brush for applying oil to everything. I have the oil can. I have brake cleaner for cleaning out small passageways and things like that. I have my electronic goop over there. I have my motor. I have fasteners spread around generally where they're supposed to go. Like this, for example. I don't know where everything goes right now, but it's gotta go somewhere. I shouldn't have any leftover fasteners. Foreshadowing. Actually, I don't know. I haven't filmed that part yet, so I can't. That doesn't work in this. Anyway, let's just get into it. I'm gonna put some ring terminals on this motor wiring. They just kind of shoved them into these clamps from the factory and they look like shit. Cut, stripped, add heat shrink, crimp using the wrong tool, preferably. Now once you've heated the shrink with the improper tool, it should fit nicely into these little ring terminals, squisher things. There. That's actually supposed to be like a fork terminal type of thing, not a ring, but I cut the end of the ring off, so now we have a fork. I'm slowly chipping away at this casting with a burr, just to try to clean everything up. That's nasty. The last thing I needed to do before getting ready for assembly is get some paint back on the bed. I maxed off everything that was important. I hit these areas with a die grinder. There was a bunch of knobs and gloops and everything from the casting. Oh. I also plugged up all the holes with silicone plugs. But I think it turned out pretty good. There's a couple bugs on here. I took the bed and the shipping crate out into the grass and just gave it a couple coats of paint. Turned out really nice. It could be better. The paint is still a little bit soft even after 7 days, but I glooped it on there pretty thick. It should hold up pretty well. But yeah, all I have to do is just stick it back together. So stay tuned for that video. Bye.